wonderful day for it, friends. It is Friday. We love Fridays, don't we? Because it's the last working day of the week for most people. Specifically, more importantly, it is for me. How good's that? And today we have a new project, and again, something rather special. I say that all the time, don't I? And it is rather special. And it's an Ibanez Prestige. Look at this. What a beaut. A couple of dings and knocks, but we don't worry about things like that. So, what's it say on the back? Made in Japan, which is exactly what it should say because that's where they are made. A tone-resistant reinforced titanium neck. I have no idea what that means. I don't know where the titanium reinforces anything in there. Has it got a titanium truss rod or some titanium rods in there? Anyway, Floyd Rose type of fit. It will be Ibanez's very own edge type system. This is not the one on bearings. It is a fulcrum type on 2 pivots. There are strange things with this tremolo that I've not come across before. I've certainly not set up before, so I've got to learn a couple of things about that. So why is it in? Well, if I look up on the board over there and I see Ibanez Prestige jack tremolo intensive, it says. Right, the jack has broken. It's a TRS jack, which is tip ring sleeve. You commonly know it as a stereotype jack. And that is broken, so we're going to replace that. I've actually gone out and bought a proper Ibanez part for that. I've been instructed not to touch the pickups or change the pickup height because that's exactly how he likes them. There is a problem with the tremolo in as much as it squeaks when you move the arm in there. I don't know what that's about. I have seen how it works. I have seen a grommet in there and a bushing. That is most likely to be the problem. Just going to go into the case. Just look at, there's a big set of tools. Team J-Craft Ibanez toolkit for guitar. How fantastic. I'm going to make use of that. So the tremolo needs sorting. Regarding fret leveling, I don't know if any frets need leveling. I think I did check with a fret rocker when the guy was here and they didn't look too bad. But we are going with the intensive setup anyway. That would say to me that we don't need to do a fret level, but maybe 1 or 2 need a little bit of a skim. We will certainly re-crown and polish everything anyway. So we're going to go on an intensive setup with a brand new input jack, so a little bit of wiring in there. That's why we're going with an intensive setup. With an intensive setup over a player setup, you get your electrics sorted, and you also get up to 5 frets leveled and crowned. All the frets get polished in what you call basically everything built up from a player setup. Player setup is everything. It's the nut checked, the radius on the nut, the radius on the bridge, the intonation all set, restringing, check every nut and bolt on the guitar, check that it plays fine, check the neck straight and the frets are level for instance, check the strap pins, make sure they're tight, check all the electrics. Pickles here are DiMarzios. I don't know what DiMarzios they are, but they are DiMarzios, so they're bound to be good. Strings wise, do you put any strings in there? No, and there's an extra charge for setting up a Floyd Rose tremolo. I've priced the guy up, I've let him know what it's going to cost. He's happy for me to proceed with the work. So let's have a look in the book, Prestige Ibanez, because I've not looked in it prior to this moment. And there you go, it's all in Japanese. That's useful. It's only useful though, really, if you can read Japanese. Oh, there's some, well, that's Italian. Cleaning, that's English. I know English. I don't know how old the guitar is, but in its day, I would imagine it was 1,400 quid because that little piece of paper says so. RG 3570 LB, so with some kind of blue. £1,399. Okay, not cheap. Right, okay, string replacement. We know how to replace strings. Guitar part identification, attachments. Yep, there you go. Blah 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 blah. Skip through. This is just basically a basic Ibanez thing. You go in there and you're looking at adjustments and what parts are on a guitar, blah 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 blah. And what it shows you basically is 1 electric guitar and 1 semi-acoustic guitar, like so. Blah 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 blah. Can you see all that? Sure you can. It gives you, I don't know what these numbers are. We're shipped from a factory. Ibanez guitars are set up using the following tunings. Okay. First, let's say the E, A, D, G, B, E. Yep, fair enough. 6 strings. RG, oh, true to D. Your RGD MBM, okay. And RG, 7 string, right, okay, not really important. String height, figure 1. String height for first string should be approximately 1.5 to 1.7 mil. For 6 strings should be approximately 2 to 2.2 mil. See, that's, for me, that's quite high. I typically like they place a ruler at 14 fret to measure the gap shown in figure 1. Right, that's at gap, that's at fret 14, okay, that's fair enough. I measure at fret 12 and I go 1.7 on the low E, 1.5 on the high E. But anyway, blah 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 blah. Guitar will be more difficult to play for strings are low. Yes, we do know that. We'll have a buzz or become muted. Yep. Okay, string replacement, know all about that. Just good to look into one of these. Cleaner, it just tells you how to clean it, and that's it. That's as much information as there is on there. So that tells me absolutely nothing about the tremolo, which means I'm going to get the tremolo arm in there when I find it, if I find it, because is it in here? Nope, it's not there. On balls. Was it in here? Well, if it was, it's in here now. I'm going to have a look for that. I don't think it is here. I will contact the owner of the guitar and find out. I am 99.9% sure I do not have the tremolo on. So where would that have gone? So why do I know it squeaks? Very good question. Here's the grommet we talked about. So I know we did have one here. No, this grommet only goes in one way. This little thing, this little beastie there. It's got a little notch on the top which you probably can't see. It shows it only goes in one way. And that looks to be, does it go that way? It doesn't matter. It can go either way because it's the same from both angles. Right, okay. So tremolo arm, where is it? I don't know. I've dropped that grommet. I will have to find that. Right, I'm going to do it off camera. Where are you? It's like anything that is that floor, it bounces to a place that doesn't exist. I will find that in a moment. I'm going to do a little bit more reading. We're going to first replace the jack. I'm wondering if we're going to get the jack out anyway and replace that first. So I will come back and I will show. Oh, it didn't drop on the floor. It's here. Found that grommet. There you go. Let's get it in right. Well, let's drop it again. God, it's so good. Look at that. Did it bounce out? So I think this will go in. That can't be right, surely. Fiddly little thing. You know when sometimes things are fiddly, they actually make your fingers itch. This is one of those times. That doesn't go in there at all. So, oh, the tremolo arm's in the bag. There you go. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn the camera onto the guitar. We'll get more of an idea of what I'm talking about. There you go. I think we're pretty good there. Get the body pretty central. I don't think you're going to hear anything because I've got my fan blowing and there's no way I'm turning my fan off today. Not after yesterday. 36, 37 degrees in England yesterday. But anyway. Is that incorrectly? I do not know. Soon find out. I shall zoom in to give you more of an idea. It's a nice blue. I had a Hamer Californian in this kind of blue, 1988 one in metallic ice blue, I believe the colour was. What a wonderful guitar that was, but I sold it when I was struggling for cash one time. I sold it for 525 of your English pounds, which is cheap. Just doesn't work this. Seems to work better that way. Okay, we're going to go with that. Seems pretty good, okay. So tremolo arm. Oh, it's a nice little, oh, what's nice this way? What a little ziplock affair. Whoosh. I do like that. What a great tool this is. I'm going to get one of these. Fantastic tool. All various attachments on there. Allen keys, measuring gauges, the whole gubbins. There is some kind of retainer bar there, which I would imagine is part of the tremolo system. Again, I don't know what it does. Maybe it blocks it off and makes it a hardtail. I really don't know, but we are going to set this tremolo fully floating. So let us, that's a push in, and it just hangs loose. Aha, listen. It's making a squeaking noise. So that means there's some kind of spring in there. That's not normal, is it? Some kind of spring in there somewhere. I'm going to, obviously, when I strip this guitar, I'll have the whole tremolo out. Because I've got to learn how to set this tremolo up anyway. Because I've not come across, I've not used one before, not one of these. So okay, so learning as we go on. How great is that? You know, you never stop learning, guys. Don't believe for 1 second that as you get older it's more difficult to learn. That is absolute bullcrap. It is easier to learn when you're older, because if you want to learn when you're older, you've got a passion and a yearning to do that. Let me tell you now, I've learned more these past 5-6 years than a little. In fact, I've learned a lot. My life has changed dramatically in the last 5 or 6 years. I've gone from being an absolute wreck and a seriously ill man to being a successful businessman, running my own business, doing this, being a confident man, and having a wonderful, wonderful life, a wonderful partner, and wonderful friends. And you know, and I've learned so much this past few years, and maybe that is more to do with me being a Christian. I know that is not going to tick everyone's plus box right here, right now, at this moment, but it certainly has changed my life for the better. I love my faith, I love Jesus Christ, and I know He loves me. But yeah, so, but the thing is, you never ever stop learning. Learning is one of the greatest things you can do. Seek the truth, and the truth will reveal itself. I promise you that. Anyway, great stuff. So where are we with this guitar? So much to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it in, test the electrics, just to check where the problem is. We're probably not going to get anything out there. I have bought brand new input jacks. Where have I put them? You'd have thought I'd have got these out and ready before I started filming, wouldn't you? Yeah, and I'm thinking that right now. But you know what? I didn't. And more fool me for doing that. So they are going to be, obviously going to be somewhere. They're not anywhere to hand right now. So I'm going to find those. I'm going to have to come back on time. So stay tuned. And see. Oh, bless me. I shall come back soon and give you an update. So I found the jack. It was in the bag it came in, or the envelope it came in. I'll stick that out of the way. Here is said jack. Genuine Ibanez piece. These cost you about 10 quid. TRS, 3 prongs on there. One will be tip, one will be ring, one will be sleeve. You can wire ring and sleeve together for the earth. That is always recommended, which is what I'm going to do in this case, because it does not have an active system. And tip will go to tip, obviously. So I've just checked the intonation on the guitar. The E string, I think there's only one just slightly sharp. The E string is slightly sharp, means I just need to lengthen the string length, so I need to move that saddle away about 1 millimetre, which I will do in due course once the strings are off the guitar. So I can take the strings off, rest of the strings in tone correctly. So that is absolutely fine. That's one less job to do later. But there will be, obviously, I'll still be setting up the tremolo. So what we are going to do is we are going to flip the guitar over. Notice I have rubber on this mat, on this holder now, but when I come to turn the guitar over, I'll just place one piece there, just to stop anything getting damaged. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove the jack cover plate here, because this is where I'm going to be working first and foremost. All the other electrics inside the guitar should be absolutely fine, but I do need to remove this jack. I don't know what size nut that is in there. The actual washer came off anyway, but what I'll do is I'll try and remove, can't remove that. I'm going to need a plier on there. You can't really see what I'm doing, so just take my word for it that I'm just removing this nut. I can get a good grip on there. Maybe the right sparrow will be a little bit better, but yeah, that's okay. We are moving. I just need to get that. So what we're going to do is going to take a picture of which wire goes where. The guitar still does work with this on, it's just one of the prongs has snapped. So let us remove, and there we go. And we do not have a lot of room for movement there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this wire completely and resolder again with an extended wire, just give me more to work with. I'm going to move my camera in a minute to a position where you can see what I'm doing. In fact, I'm going to just loosen these screws. I'll leave those screws right there. I'm going to move the camera to the other side of the workshop. I very rarely do that now. I just like to work with the camera where it is, and I don't have to move it. I just move the camera and point it somewhere else. But on this occasion, I'm going to move the camera just so you can see what I'm doing. Just pause for a minute. How is that for you guys? Can you work with that? I certainly can work with that because the camera is well out of the way. So move some tools out of the way, move the Ibanez booklet out of the way. Nice piece of paper that I can use for scrap, just to write down any notes I need for this wiring. I do have my soldering iron already out. I'm going to remove this back plate and the screws. I'm going to see what's going off. Inside there, right, very busy in there, that's okay. Why do I have 3 screws there? There's a 4th, that's why. I have 2 there. So everything into the pot. We always use a pot. I'll move the car out of there. I have a new car this week. I have a BMW 3 Series. Old one, estate or touring. Very nice car, really enjoying driving it. And that's where the key is, but there you go. Everything in the pot, always in the pot. We may as well remove this back plate while we're here. I don't know what any of this does. We'll find this out in due course. I may as well take it off while we're at it. Not taking the strings off yet. Once the strings are off, we'll get my neck off and everything. And we will do a rebuild from the bottom up. I'll be stripping the tremolo, having a look inside, see what that spring problem is. This is going to be a whole shift on this guitar, a whole day's work. So let's say, I don't know, we're going to be going a good 8 hours on this. You know, and you're going to get, I'm charging about 100 quid for that. It's not even charging everything because there's parts included in that as well. So I'm not working for a great amount of money, which is not what drives me. Anyway, so okay, these have got some like these grommets on here. I don't know what this does. I imagine this sets the level of that, or sets the tuning. I don't know. Some fine tuning kind of system. I will go and read up about that. Certainly looks like it works pretty well. A big plate in there. You probably know more about the system than I do, especially people watching. If I miss anything out on this trailer, you can add it in the comment section. Right, okay, so let's see the story with this wire. Yep, that's as long as it goes, which is a bit of a shame. Should I replace it? Could I replace it? Okay. We don't have a lot of room there, do we? But anyway, this is all about checking what pin does what. So, I'm going to check the new jack against the old one. The new one is a little bit longer. Let's see how this fits inside there. We still have enough room, that's fine. I'm certainly not going to solder that inside the guitar. Okay, I may need to just extend these wires. Makes things a little bit more difficult. The white wire. Oh, they're coming out of the one. Right, I could extend these both just a little, but I may get them on as they are. Let's turn the soldering iron on. So certainly don't need 470 degrees. Let's go for 400. That'll be fine. Okay, and this is where this piece of paper comes in really, really handy to have one just knocking about. Pen, correct, there you go. And I will copy like the long one, the longest one is earth, common, ground, whatever you want to call it. The middle one is hot or tip. So it wouldn't hurt to solder the short one, whatever the short one is. As you imagine. Tip ring sleeve, probably ring, I don't know, I'll have to go and find out. I'll go and check anyway. But I would certainly join the short one and the middle one together. Is it absolutely necessary? Probably not. But anyway, can you see where you are? You can see. I should probably use a different bit to this. I've just got a chisel tip on the end. I like to use a 45-degree one normally. Right, okay. Leave me grumbling about that. It will be long enough. I just have to be careful when I solder it on. Okay. Am I going to have enough to solder on the new jack? Wow, it's going to be tight. Let's remove or should I extend? I don't really like extending wires. Let's try and get it on. As it is. Let's burn off some of this excess solder. Pretty good. I'm going to remove this pot, and that pot will give me more leeway. Okay, what I'm going to do is, we're going to get under this pot, to remove it, and it will give me more leeway. I can then bear more wire. So we're going to remove this pot properly, using this new little gadget, which is great for undoing screws and things, and getting under, well, it should go under, but is it? There you go. So I'm just going to turn nice and gently, and that should just pop off, which is very good. Then we're going to do exactly the same again. We're just going to loosen that screw. What a great tool this is. My hand's probably in the way, but it just undoes the screws as well and make the job a lot easier. Pop that down. Will that give us any more? Hopefully it will. Depends how tight it is in here. Just need to pop it out just a little, just to give us another centimetre would be fantastic. But is it going to give us that? No, it's not. It is in far too tight. Maybe the earth wire is just holding that in. Ha 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 ha, there you go. Right, okay. That's given us no more whatsoever. So I'm going to remove, take this one out. I'll take it out of the equation. And that is going to give us a lot more watch. Think things through before you do anything. Always. Like for instance, I should be thinking about getting the washer and the nut on here right now before I thread this through, which I'm going to do right now. Now, which side does that go? That rubber grommet goes this side, so it's just a nut, no washer. I'm not going for that. I'm not falling for that crap. I'm going to put a washer on there. There's not one with the actual. Oh, there is. Right, okay, I'm going to use that one. Put that on there. Put that on there. Put it through. And how much more have I got to work with right here, right now? How good is that? So the earth is a little bit bare. Should I put some shrink wrap around that? Thinking so, yes. See what we have. So just shrink that tubing on there. I'll go for around about a centimetre. just to keep things neat. Too much on there, it's okay. We're not going to have a short problem then, are we? Okay. I'm not going to get my helping hands out, I'm going to do something even better. You don't get a much better holding tool than a good heavy duty mole grip. So let's see where the earth one is going, to the longest pin, and that will be the hot. So the earth is going to go to here. We've got the washer and the screw wrong way around, by the way, I've just realised that. Just swap those round. Or should I say the knot? Not first. Simple job this, but you do have to have the right parts. I had to go make sure I got the right parts for a Prestige guitar. I like to be pretty exact. Okay, I've lost that little bit of shrink that tubing. Is it in there? Is it in there? It's right here. So we're going to need two. We're going to use are the long one and the medium one. Not too tight, just need it to hold. Just hold in there. Okay. We are using this one for hot. Oh, sorry, for the earth. I'm going to try, I'm going to bend that out. If we heat this up a little, like so. Just got to solder out first as well, shouldn't I? I'll do it left-handed, it'll be okay. Okay. That's good, that's good, that's good. There's a lot of heat there. Just need to I never blow on solder, I let it cool naturally. It's a way to do it. There you go, and that is beautiful. And the next one, and on to this one. Do we have enough? Yes, we do. That's popped out. What just happened? Bring this little pin out of the way. A little bit of solder on the back there. Okay, so look at what we've done. Very, very good. 2 good solder joints. And we are where we need to be with that. Just to make sure the washer goes over. No, not. You can't see what I'm doing here. I'm not doing very well. I do have tools to make this easier, but I'm not using them for whatever reason. Don't tell me that. This might not be long enough. Yes it is, it's a rubber grommet that's just holding it back. Right, okay, we're good. Whew, bit of a sweat on there. Fantastic news. Push you right in. Again, take a long nose plier. I will be plugging this in a moment just to test everything's working. It's tightened up quite a lot, but it's in there, which is brilliant. Very good. Get the pot back in. There is a washer under there which has decided to run away. There are 2 washers in there. Okay. Be like that. And there you are. We can flip the guitar over. Place the washer. Place the knot, and I will be tightening this up with a plier, not a plier, a spanner. I would be thinking, oh, I don't have to, I've got this little kit. There's a little piece of goodness here. And how this works, it's got a serrated edge that just grips the knot. Great tool. I don't know what it's called, but that's what it is. That's the shape of it. There's a serrated edge on one edge there, and you can tighten or loosen these knots. Okay, let's get that back on there, and there you go, all done. Look inside, the electrics are all good. We have enough excess there now. We have enough room in there. Hopefully everything will be working fine. I shall plug in the guitar and give it a little twang. Turn on the arm. So valve amps, it could take a second or two just to warm the valves up. Guitar probably won't be in tune now. We don't worry about things like that. Shall we have a go? Are we turned on? We are turned on and we have nothing. Okay, there you go. I've obviously wired that wrong. Right, we'll go and look again. Oh, brilliant. Very good. Live TV. Okay, I will have a look in there. Maybe it's a different kind of jack. So I'll sort it out. Back soon. So that was pretty straightforward. It is a different wiring to the original one. The actual shortest one on the new jack is the hot wire, where on this one it's a middle one, so always look out for that in the future. So we have wired it up, got it all nice and neat in there. Can you see there? Just 2 wires, job done. To show the guitar is working. The guitar will not be in tune now, but we're not worried about things like that. So there you go, that's all good. We're going to get the cover plates back on the electrics because we don't need to touch those again. I've tested all the electrics, and then we're going to move on. We're going to remove the strings. I'll do that little intonation thing I need to do yet. I do need to set the intonation, I remember, on one of the strings. So we're going to get this back together. That's all good in there. I think all of these screws are the same. So get these 2 covers back on. Tremolo, very interesting system. Something I'm going to have to go and read up on in a moment. Again, you see, you don't really see that. It's one of the parts of the job you don't see, where I go online and research stuff. I find out prices, I find out what bits do all this and the other. And this is work that is not charged. I could spend 2-3 hours some days researching a certain guitar or a certain piece of equipment on a guitar, especially something along the lines of a Carla tremolo and or other tremolo systems, tuning systems, whatever. Because I like to know what I'm working on and how to work or how to do what I need to do. You know, sometimes it means me going out and learning, and you know, stepping a little bit out. I don't want to stepping out of the comfort zone. I love learning. I love learning new stuff. But end of the day, I can't work on this if I don't know how it itself works and how different it is from a Floyd Rose. The fact that I am a pretty bit of a whiz with Floyd Rose tremolos is telling me that I'm probably going to find this really easy. This tremolo system, to learn this tremolo system and find out what it does. It's like with anything. But I'm pretty much a hands-on type of guy. Not only am I'm not blaming a trumpet. What I'm saying is I'm reasonably intelligent. I'm very intelligent. I have a good brain, praise the Lord. But I'm also very good with my hands. And I'm very good at working things out. And I love to find out how things work. It's why I've always maintained my own vehicles, my own cars. I do all my service work, all my MOT work, change cam belts, anything. Guitar work I've always done, and I will find out how this works properly, what exactly it does. I did see a retainer bar somewhere. I wonder what part that plays in this system. So let's see if we can work it out from what's here. It's just a bar, a couple of short springs. Oh, it goes here somewhere because there's 2 pins there. So I would say 2 springs go there. What does the bar do? I have no idea. Maybe it sits behind there and blocks the tremolo. I don't know. I will go and find out. How's that? So the back is all done. I can leave this back plate off because the tremolo will be coming off in a bit. I'm going to go upstairs and read about that now. And we'll come back and crack on with this a little bit later. So stay tuned, guys. I hope you're having as much fun as I am. Need to find out about this. So I'll crack on. Okay, I've persuaded myself there is more than one angle to work on a guitar, and I've set the camera up thus, so the guitar is straight. You'll see I've removed the strings, well I've cut the strings off because I've still got the string ends there. And I'm taking a not straight edge, and we're just making sure the neck is level, which it is because I've just altered the truss rod using the Ibanez tool with the truss rod adjuster on there. And that neck is straight. So what I'm going to do is, with a fret rocker, I'm just going to whiz across the frets, see if there are any high ones. see where we are regarding working the frets. I'm thinking these frets should be, I don't think there will be any high ones, maybe one or two, I don't know. There's a little bit of pitting and wear, very, very slight on the ones at this end. Nothing that's worrying me. My main area of, not the main area of concern, but the main area of what I want to get right is the tremolo system. I don't even know how to remove that tremolo properly yet. So I'm going to go upstairs in a minute on the computer and I'm going to read up on what the tremolo is. Maybe it can tell me underneath anyway. But first I'm going to go find out how to properly remove it. So I will go and look up on the Prestige Ibanez, see what tremolos they normally come with. Look at some pictures, see which one, identify which one is on this guitar, and I will then go and download whatever pamphlet or PDF or instruction manual there is for it. Of those frets, we have one high fret right here, one, and a tiny bit of, two little bits of a rock on these frets here, not even worth bothering about. I will see to them and get them right, but the frets are absolutely fine on this guitar. So what I will be doing is I'll be giving these a high polish. I will also be treating fingerboard. In fact, I'm going to treat the fingerboard right here, right now. I'll be covering the tape, the pickups with tape, so I can later get some steel wool on these frets to give them a polish. But what I'm going to do now is going to take some mineral oil. This is not lemon oil. It's called lemon oil because it is specially formulated mineral oil for guitar fretboards, wooden ones in particular, the dark woods, Palfaro, ebony, rosewood, specially formulated to treat and clean the wood. So any debris on there, finger sweat, whatever, will rise off and the oil will penetrate and slightly nourish the board, stop it cracking later in life. I recommend you do this at least once a year. It's mineral oil, we call it lemon oil, it's just mineral oil with a hint of lemon essence in there to make it smell nice. So the only reason the lemon goes in. And that's it, I'll give it a quick spray and I'll just spread this. This is the first coat, this is just to get rid of all the grime because I've got a little bit of a fret level, a couple of frets up there later. I'm just going to let this soak in. Give that a wipe in 15-20 minutes. I'm going to go upstairs, do a little bit of studying, find out about this guitar, find out about the tremolo. I say 15 minutes, I bet you I'm up there about an hour. This is the things you don't see on camera, the things that I don't charge for. You know, my job is not an easy job. I mean, it's not a difficult job by any stretch of the imagination because it's what I do. But don't take a guitar tech, a dedicated guitar tech, for granted, because there will be a lot happening behind the scenes and off camera that you are probably not aware of, such as research. You know, I don't like working on a guitar not knowing how the bits work, what they are, what they're all about, how they work, because you can't work blind. I've had some right shoddy crap in this workshop that other so-called techs have worked on, and it's shocking. But anyway, I'm going to crack on, I'm going to let that soak in for a bit, I'm going to do some studying, and I will be back pretty soon. Okay, you can't see me, but that's okay. I've done a little research on this tremolo, and here is the tremolo, and that's no block to speak of, is it? But this tremolo is a Edge 0 tremolo, or a ZR2 tremolo, according to the bump I've got. And the squeaking inside here is caused by a spring inside this part that pushes inwards against this tremolo arm, causing the squeak in here. Loosening it is not going to do anything, it's going to make it fall out and make it weak, so you can't stop that squeak, unfortunately. It's not that bad, you just have to get it done, move your tremolo into position with your sound, with your volume down, I'd imagine. But anyway, I'm going to put the tremolo back in the guitar once I have set this tremolo. What we do is, when setting a tremolo, we need all these right in the middle. So that's as low as one will go, that's as high as one will go. So if I set this in the middle, in fact let's go high with that one. And there you go. I believe this one here is set where we need it to be, right in the middle. That's as high as they go, that's as low as they go. So let's set them all in the middle. And that way we have adjustment left and right, or up and down, or sharp and flat, whichever way you want to look at it. So I'm going to set all these. I like to set them. You ever heard that thing? I'm having the biggest half. But you ever heard that where you always set it on the side of caution on the flattening side, because you don't need to flatten the guitar a lot. So anyway, we're going to get a more or less level, which they are. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. And that's ready for setting up again. The intonation is all done bar the low E. We need to move that back ever so slightly, which I'm going to do. I hope you can see all of that. This thing here must retain the height or something. I don't know exactly what this does. Maybe it just locks it in one place. We will find out in a short while. So anyway, the fingerboard has been cleaned. I do need to polish the frets. I'm going to wipe this one more time. I'm going to polish the frets. Once that's done, we're going to get the tremolo back on. We're going to get some strings on, a set of 942s, Ernie balls, and we're going to get the guitar all set up, get the tremolo floating. The other retainer bar in the pack is, I think it's so you can more or less stop tail the tremolo. This thing, because it works against the springs already in there, it pulls in an opposite direction and it always brings it back to that neutral point. Whether the tremolo works or not with that in place, I don't know. I may give it a little install and give it a try, but what I'm prepared to do is I'm going to read these instructions properly, 3 sheets there, blah 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 blah, on what this tremolo does. And I'm going to move this on right now. The collet always pops out where it's supposed to be. Maybe replacing that will make a difference. I really don't know. Doesn't sit in too brilliantly, but yeah. So we're going to put the tremolo back in. Once this tremolo is back in, and on the springs, I'm going to start polishing these frets, and we'll cover the pickups with some tape. I'm probably not going to film that. I've got too much to do. I don't try to film every single thing. But anyway, let's get this tremolo back where it needs to be. What I've done with the springs out over there. I'll get this tremolo back in, and I will come back to you very soon. The camera might have gone a little bit wrong. I've been chuntering away talking about stuff on this guitar and I realised it was not recording, so just explain what I've done since the last time. I'll see if I can try and remember. I did fit this extra bar and springs, and this pulls the opposite direction. What this does is when you bend the tremolo down, dive one, this pulls it back a lot quicker, brings it back into tune. I don't think we're going to need that because I think the owner of the guitar actually uses a tremolo quite a bit, so we're going to leave that off. So I've fitted it and now I've unfitted it. The squeaking in the tremolo is caused by a spring holding it in from underneath and causing more of a resistance, so it holds the tremolo tight, and that really is a pain. So to get rid of that, I've got to remove the spring, and it means the tremolo arm will not be tight, and he needs it tight, so he's going to have to make do with it. There's nothing, unless changing the spring to change something, maybe it will. Don't seem to be squeaking at the moment, so that's pretty good. It might have something to do with this grommet as well, but we'll leave it like that for the time being. I don't know what this screw does. Absolutely no idea. I will have a look at the instructions again, give them a read. But anyway, you'll see I've got the pickups all taped up. That's because I'm going to level 2 frets here. Just 2, that's all it needs doing. And then I'm going to polish the rest of the frets. So let's just prepare to do that. I'm going to take my fret rocker again, a little bit high on that edge, just a very tiny bit, and a little bit higher there, just these 2 frets. That is it. How good is that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a flat file, a Swiss number 4 cut. Number 4 cut is a very smooth but sharp cut. I love this file. Swiss made company called Valorb, Glardon, Glardon, and Valorb, Vallorbe. Flat side, and I just know all I need to do basically, it's nothing, I just need to glide across these 2 frets, just to remove a little. I love it when you get guitars in like this. Fantastic frets on this, and that's level. Go back one, it's a tiny bit of a rock there, tiny bit of a rock there, very, very tiny bit. Clean the file, flat side down, just basically that much. I don't even really need to recrown these to remove that little gear. That's fantastic. And that is it. And we're just going to go with the profiling file. Remove any burrs and to create that crown. And that really is it. It really is that simple. This needed no fretwork at all, but I would class it as fretwork. So again, I'm going to check all of the frets, 3 positions, outside, middle, inside, just to check that we've got that level maintained on the whole length of the neck. And this is testament to how good Japanese Ibanez guitars are. These frets are level. And that is beautiful. Great to see. The guy who owns this guitar, he just wanted it set up properly by a guy who knows what he's doing. He says, all I really want is I want it set up properly. If I can get rid of that squeak in my tremolo, even better. I will, however, even though I can't get rid of that, I will still go and read a little bit more on that topic. See if there's something we can do, see if there's an alternative spring we can put in there. Would lubing it up make any difference? I don't know, but we're not done with that yet. These frets are amazing. So if Ibanez can do it, why can't other guitar companies do it? Those frets are astoundingly good. They are level. So what I need to do now is polish them. Really, really easy. Fingerboard is treated with, as I said earlier, mineral oil. You know it's lemon oil. We're going to take some, they're not fret guards, people call them fret guards, not fret guards, they are fingerboard guards. They guard your fingerboard while you're polishing a fret. Take a wide one for that side, a narrow one for this end, that end, narrow one for this end, that we can get right into the frets without marking the wood. What I'm first going to do is I'm just going to go across the bevels, just to remove anything that's on there, anything iffy, icky, grubby. It's Friday afternoon, nice steady day. I'll probably get 2 guitars done today. I have half a job from yesterday to finish, and this one, if I can get this one done, if I could just get this one done today, it would be pretty good, because I can do another one tomorrow morning. But quite pleased with how things have gone, nice and steady. Winding down the week, getting ready for the weekend. My wife was back from Canada Tuesday. We had a couple of days off this week. I've not had a busy week this week. I've got the work in, it's just my wife came back from Canada on Tuesday. She graduated she graduated Wednesday, was it Wednesday? Crikey me. Yeah, it was Wednesday. And we went out for a meal at lunchtime, celebrated. My wife, if you're interested, my wife studied French and media. Was it French and media? She got a Bachelor of the Arts degree, first class with honours. but she also won 2 prizes. She won the Pat McClernand Prize, which is for most outstanding under pressure student, mature student, and she also won a prize which was the best foreign language student of that 3 years or whatever. That was not just the best French student, the best foreign language student, so the French, German, Spanish, what have you. What a great award. These were awards just awarded to one person, and she got both of those. How amazing, so proud of her. She is now going on to teacher training. She's also now studying Spanish, and she's working towards her masters as part of her teacher training, which is fantastic. She'll be doing 1 year's teacher training, for which she won't get a wage, but she will get a bursary, which is fantastic, which is going to more than tide us over for the next financial year, which is great news. And at the end of it, she's going to be a teacher, teaching 2 languages, French and Spanish. How amazing is that? What a great woman. So we did that, so we celebrated yesterday, or whenever it was, might be Wednesday. And tonight, we're going to go out local tonight. No pressure. We're going to struggle because she's had to give up work for more training. She didn't know about having to study a second language, so she's starting that next week. So she's quit the job. She does get a small bursary for a bit more teacher training, but it's only half of what her wages would have been. So financially we're going to feel it. But it's for 8 weeks, and that is it. Once that 8 weeks have gone by, we're going to be absolutely fine. So yeah, information you didn't really need to know. I just want to let you know that I'm really proud of my wife, what she's achieved the last few years. She's fantastic. And things are looking up. Anyway, polishing my frets, you've seen me do them all. Really easy. All we're doing is removing the grime, sweat, what have you. This will bring them up really nice. The frets are level. I've not had a lot to do regarding the setup of this guitar. I've got a little bit to do on the intonation, which I'll do once the strings are on. We've got to balance the tremolo, of course. At the end of the day, like I said, Ashley just wanted this guitar in the best playing state it could possibly be in, and he decided to bring it to me, which is fantastic. It speaks volumes. And I love it, and I'm hoping he goes away very happy. He says he didn't want the lights altering in any way, shape or form, so I will not do that. The tremolo, a bit of a bind with it being like that, but I will go up and read a little more. So while we're here, we're going to make sure the nut is in there tight. Very nice. I will check every nut and bolt on this guitar, including strap pins, blah blah blah, whatever, everything as part of the setup. I'm just going to go and have a small spanner. 10 should do, it can be an 11. Just checking the tuners while I'm here. Nice and there, nice and tight. That's good. You'd be surprised how many of these come in and they're loose. They've been loose a while. It's never going to help tuning stability if they're loose. Right there, all tight, that's brilliant. This guitar's set up reasonably well, really quite well. Right, next part of the job is I'm going to alter. I kind of already know where this saddle needs to be. It needs to be back 1mm. So I'm going to alter that saddle and bring it back. What have we done with that fantastic Ibanez tool right there? It's not that 140, what was that one? I thought wrong, didn't I? Nice tool this. Not a bad piece of kit at all. No, that was the right one. Why was that not turning? Oh my goodness. It was somewhere with a problem. That is a spinner. We have a spinner. There you go. Just need to angle it slightly. Give it a crack. We'll move that saddle back ever so slightly. Will it go back? Let's see what we have here. Yes, it does just go back. Oh, it's a little bit tough. But that's okay. And there you go. That should be fine. So what do these little things do? Has that got a intonation screw in there anywhere? No, I don't think it has. Okay, we'll move that back about 3/4 millimetre. That should set that intonation perfect on there now. Tools away. Not a great deal of work to do on this anymore. Put this part out of the way there. Information on the tremolo, which I'll read off camera shortly. This tape. This is Scotch 3M low tack masking tape. Been using this for years, as recommended to me by Nigel Roberts, LeicesterShireLuthier.co.uk. They're one of the finest luthiers I know. Great guy as well. Loves to share his knowledge. Helped me out a lot in the past. He's even given me tools. What a great guy. A very intelligent man as well as being a fantastic luthier. I always like to give Nigel a mention. Then his understudy, Danny Lynn, should I say, and his wife from Canada, Natalie. A thing me and Dan have in common is we're both guitar techs, and we both married a wonderful Canadian girl. His wife is living in Leicester with him, and my wife is living in Nottingham with me, but we are moving to Canada at some point. So grab me while you can, guys, because I'm not always going to be in England. Anyway, there you go. Now I'm ready. The owner of the guitar actually has not got back to me regarding the tremolo. He's probably busy, so I'm just going to have to crack on regardless. So what I'm going to do is I need to set the tremolo pretty level. So I'm going to put something in there to hold the tremolo where I need it to be, which I believe is about there. So exactly there. So I'll take a stack of my very own business cards. And I will try and trap the tremolo from underneath. I don't know how many of these I'm going to need. Let's go with that many. And that's far too many, and that's good. Just need to be close. And that is pretty much there. So we can get any further. That is pretty good. Probably two more. Yep, that's just about where I need to be, so quite pleased with that. Some business cards in there, that will do the trick. Now I can start getting the strings on, so everything's pretty good. So there you go, couldn't get the strings on. Come back in a while. When it comes to stringing a Floyd Rose, I like to do it the traditional way, and I cut to the ball ends off. Some people put a ball ends down at the neck end, thread it through and have a ball ends, stopping the string slipping on the tuner. I don't do that. I snip off ball end and I go in normal. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to find the tool. I've got it in my hand somewhere. Like this. Low Pro gubbins here. There you go, and the string is all the way in. Let's just wind that back. So we have about 9mm of string going in. Can you see that? Make sure it goes right in. Now you're not going to see the tuner end because I wanted to zoom in a bit down here just to show you how to get this right in. There you go, nice and tight. Don't over tighten, you'll knacker things, you'll break things. And all I'm going to do is, I'll show you, I'll zoom out. I always like to go in from the back as well. You're not going to see it there. Let me move the guitar a little, just to show. Can you see my finger? You can. And I don't go straight up, I like to go from the back there, pull it around more or less as far as it will go on the sixth string or on the last string. And that's it. And I'm going to start winding around now. I like to see a couple of winds round posts. Traditionally I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't mind getting 2 on the first or on the sixth string, should I say the last string. Go 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, all. Then we've got a good one on there, that's plenty. Then again, I'll show you the next one. Zoom back in. And we're going to be here. The business card's in the way a little bit there, that's okay. So, the way I do it is ball end off, string in all the way down, so you touch the bottom again, that much string going in, almost a centimetre there, I'd say about 9mm. Bending tuner. Over and around the back again. I always set the tuners facing that way, the hole, so you can just get the string in. This one will have a little bit more, a couple more extra wires, so I'm just going to pull back. I'm going to start a couple off myself, start the first 2 off, and there you go, I'm going to have at least 3 winds here, and that's nice. That's my phone going off, I'm going to ignore that a minute, I can ring him back. Check that in a moment. So stretch it. So we've got good, well, very good 3 winds, even 4 winds around that. Right, so I'm just going to go call my brother back. I'm back soon. Right, I want to show a little bit of how I set up a Floyd Rose, and I've moved on. I've already moved on a little bit, and what I've done is I've tightened the springs at the back so the tremolo is pulling backwards more than it needs to, and then I've placed some business cards underneath, and I've got the tremolo sat perfectly level with the body, or horizontal with the body. Then I've tuned the guitar to pitch, and what I do a few times then is I will stretch the strings all up and down, because I want to get as much stretch in these strings as I can before I lock anything down. Because if I lock stuff down without stretching the strings, I've got to stretch the strings again with it locked down, and it's going to go all out of tune. So we're looking just to get close to tuning. We don't want to go mental because we don't want to snap anything. But as long as we're in a quarter note, we're going to be absolutely fine, because we can adjust anything else on the springs and on the fine tuners at the other end. We just want to get somewhere very close to concert pitch, and I'm assuming the owner wants it in E standard. I've asked him a couple of times and he's not got back to me, so kind of doing this blind and hoping I'm right. but I'm not going to lock anything down until I've heard back from him. So I'm just doing this. In the meantime, I'm going to take his guitar for bench in a minute and go back onto another one I've half done. Because I don't need any instruction on the other one, or I don't need any feedback from the actual client. I've already stretched these strings once, so I'm going back again, just to get any more stretch out of them. And to tune a Floyd Rose correctly, or a Floyd Rose type tremolo, you always tighten the springs at the back more than they need to be. Then you basically prop up the bridge, bring it back to level, then you get the strings on, and you get it all in tune with this level, with the business cards or whatever clamp you've got or prop you've got underneath. Once you've got it in tune and everything locked down, we're going to remove the business cards or whatever it be, or block or whatever, and I guarantee that the springs are going to pull the tremolo back. And all we do is we release the tension on the springs until it drops back level. Once we'll take the A string for instance, once the A string drops into tune, when we loosen the springs, all the other strings will fall and be in tune. That is how we set up Floyd Rose. I will do an in-depth video on that one day, Steve. There's a string snapped. It's not snapped, it's just come out, so that's okay, we can fix that. That means when I clamped it down I didn't do it properly. That is not a problem. We just loosen the clamp and we'll stick it back in. I wasn't expecting that to happen. That means I hadn't timed it down enough. Sometimes you're a little bit cautious on how much you want to tighten these things at this end. I won't be so cautious this time, I shall give it some. Okay, that was fun. Wasn't expecting that. Try again. That's pretty good. So we're in tune there. The tremolo is still level, we're still blocked up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the string clamps on. I'm going to check what goes where. You normally tell which goes where by how deep the grooves are in there. Some deep ones in there. Crikey, we need that. I'm going to go there with that one. I'm not going to tighten these down, I'm just going to get them in place. Just do them finger tight, like so. Could do with replacing these, they're a little bit chewed away. I'm going to go with this one on the far side, because that's the smoothest one of the lot. Not tightening them, just nipping them in there. Always make sure the ridge or the roof shape is always, the ridge is always going that way, or the apex, or always going back to front or front to back. And there you go, so they're on. So while I'm waiting for the owners to get back to me, actually I'm going to move on to something else. I will of course get this all tuned in with it in playing position before I clamp anything down, but that's all good, we're in tune. And so now I'm going to check certain things like the action at the 12th fret, set it to how I like it. I'm also going to set the neck, check the radius, check the relief in the neck. Need to grab a couple of tools, very good. So 12th fret. Let's first check the neck. 25.5-inch scale on these. We have just about the right amount of relief here. I would be looking for 1/4 millimetre under the 9th fret, or between the 8th and 9th frets. They're between 0.2 and 0.25 millimetres. 0.2 will be ideal. 0.25 is the one I normally go for. And if it's right, we should just rock. And that's not rocking, so we're a little bit high there. So what we're going to do is we are going to slightly alter the truss rod. We're going to tighten just a little bit. Just to straighten up that neck a little. And that will knock it out of tune, we ain't worried about that. Going the wrong way there, see if I find out. No, we're good there. Now we'll just rock in. Not a straight edge. There you go, and it's knocking it over, that's good. 0.25, I like that. That's what I consider a nice action. So let me check at the 12th fret. Anything around about 1.7 will be good. 1.7 millimetres, and we are even better, we are 1.5 millimetres. I'm going to actually, I'm about 1.2 on the high E. So we are a little bit low on that action. I'm going to check the relief again. I might put a little bit more relief back in there. I would like to be a little bit higher, especially on the high. It's about 1.2 millimetres. I definitely want it higher than that. Feel the gauge. That's definitely where I want to be. So I'm going to raise slightly the bridge. I'm not loosening the strings to do it. People say you should loosen the strings to do that. Who told you that? Whoever told you that? It's not true. Trim all that side. These blades are steel. They're not going to wear out. .5. Still low. See where we are now. Okay. About 1.65 on the low E and about 1.35 on the high E. Now I know we are well out of tune, but I'm much happier with that action as it is right there. I will settle for that. At 1.35 on the high, about 1.65 on the low E. Again, shut relief at the 9th fret, 0.25 would be good. Just rocking, not straight edge, that's perfect, that's good, I'm happy with that. So again, we will tune again. We'll check how level the tremolo is. It is now a little bit further back than it ought to be, so let's put another business card or two in there and we set again. Like I say, it's not a 5-minute affair setting the Floyd Rose. You normally have to set 2 or 3 times. Are we there? I'm liking the look of that. Do me. So again, we go again. I'm liking that, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that set up right there. I'm not going to lock anything down because I'm waiting to hear back from the owner of the guitar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the gubbins away, put the guitar back in its case. This is one I can finish tomorrow, which is absolutely fine. I do have an Epiphone dot I need to do a fret level on as well, which I was going to do in the morning. I'm now going to do that right now. So we'll be back with this one tomorrow morning, which will be a Saturday. I'll be working a short day tomorrow. I'll not be doing a full day. It's Saturday, it's a weekend. I'm going to enjoy the time with my wife because we have got a very, very busy 2 months coming up where we're not going to see that much of each other. Certainly not as much as we normally do. So we are going to make the very, very most of the weekends we have together, and we are going to party, and we are going to have a good time, and we're going to be all over each other because we both have a lot of work coming up. My wife will be working and studying really hard for the next 2 months. All to do with her job and teacher training. She'll be working 30 hours a week, 25 hours a week, and studying 25 hours a week. You know, a lot of work. So I'm sure no one begrudges me a bit of quality time with my wife over the weekend. That's what I'm going to do. So this one, I'm going to leave it till the morning. We'll get it all finalised, get everything locked and clamped down, and this one will be good to go tomorrow. Getting down to the nitty gritty with the guitar in tune. Strings stretched out up to tension. We're now going to check the intonation again, and there are most of these strings are flat on the or sharp on the 12th at the 12th fret, noted 12th fret over. That's the top E. Very, very slightly sharp, but then again, so is the plucked note. Harmonics, the 12th fret is fine, which means the harmonic's fine. B string, harmonic's fine. Fretted 12, sharp, which means to lengthen the string slightly. It means moving the saddle away from the neck. How we do that is, we do have an intonation screw there, but because I have the tremolo blocked using the business cards, I can't get that in there, so I'm going to do this the old fashioned way, which is to undo the screw when I get the right Allen key, the adjuster on the saddle, which should be this one. I'm eyeballing where the saddle is, and I need to move that back probably 0.5 millimetre, which I'm going to do. If it will let me. Does it let me? Oh yes, it does. It's just a bit jammed. So we are going to move that back. Put it back into position where I think it ought to go, and we are going to tighten up the saddle screw. And there you go. Bring the string back up to pitch. Stretch the string again. Try not to snap it. Up to pitch, 12th fret, and we are bang on. Check Check the E again. The G. Harmonics it's fine. Fretted. Fretted is very sharp. Same again. How sharp that is, I know I need to move that at least, at the very least, 1 millimetre, maybe even 1.5. This is where experience is invaluable. Now, because these are a little bit stiff and a little bit stuck from underneath, I'm going to eyeball where it is. And then I'm going to place it where I think it ought to be. And I'm looking about there, and I'm holding it. Tighten the saddle screw again. It's as tight as I need to be. Bring it up to pitch. So what I'm going to have to do is, when I've done all this, I'm going to have to basically stretch all the strings out again. Perfect. I'm going to stretch the string out now because it is flattening a little bit. So, this is the thing with the Floyd Rose, you've got to really stretch these strings and get all the stretch out to get it set properly. See what I mean? That is now down to an F. And that's just by loosening the string. So if you previously stretched the strings and you have to loosen them again, you have to stretch them again. These will get 2 or 3 stretches now before I set everything. And I will do this all in playing position once I've got it set, but that one is done. So E, B, G are all fine. Just check the D. D is fine. A. A is sharp, so we're going to set that one. E. And the E is sharp. So the A and the E are sharp. The first 4 strings are done. E, B, G, D. I need the A and the E. So I'm going to get that done. Get the strings stretched off camera. Once that's done, we're going to clamp at the nut. And then we're going to bring the guitar into a playing position. Check everything again, adjust the claw spring at the back of the tremolo, and everything should be set. Okay, friends, for all intents and purposes, we are done, we are finished. I think last part of the video I was just saying we're going to lock the tuners down in the morning. I did lock the tuners down once I got it all in tune, and once I'd got it in tune, locked it down at the nut, what I did is I removed a stack of business cards. And what happens then is, because I tightened the springs more than I needed to, the tremolo tilts back. And all you need to do once you've done that is adjust this massive nailed knob here until the A string comes in tune. And once the A string's in tune, it follows that all the other strings are in tune, because you've got the tremolo back to the position it was in with the stack of business cards underneath. So that is how you do it. Now, a couple of small issues with this guitar, even after all of that. One being, there is a spring at the bottom of the tremolo here, and I think if you remember what I said earlier, when you put the tremolo in and you do push this rod, you just need to loosen that a little, and with it tightened all the way up, it does make the tremolo arm squeak, but you now see it's not squeaking, and that's because I've loosened the spring off. The spring is not tantamount to tightening this tremolo arm, it's all tightened here. So I've loosened it off just enough to stop it squeaking. We could remove it, but the reason I've not removed it is if I do remove it, I'll not be able to get that spring back in because it is really fiddly and it's hidden away. Also, I found out what this knob is for. This switch, it's not a switch, it's nailed But this is for the intonation, for changing the intonation and pulling the saddles backwards and forwards when you intonate the guitar. I did it without using that, but that's what that's for. And then we have another small spring system here. I showed you this earlier. And what this does is this sits at the back of this block and locks into place, and we put the springs on these two bars here, and what it does is it always returns the tremolo back to 0 point or 0 point once it is set right. And that way, every time you use a tremolo, it will always go back to tuning point, pull it back. So it might be an idea to fit that, but the owner has not said anything about it, so I'm going to leave it off, but I'll give it as an option when it comes to pick up the guitar. It's something you can always look at later on. But what happens there is, as you use the tremolo, it pulls up, it stretches these springs, but when you let go of the tremolo bar, it pulls the tremolo back and locks it in this position. That's why it's called a 0 point tremolo, or a zero edge tremolo. So I think that's a great thing. It is very close to where it ought to be if you use it, but I'm not going to fit it because I've not been asked to. We've got the tremolo floating really nice, so let's recap what we have done with this guitar. It came in needing a new import jack, a new TRS import jack, which I bought some Ibanez ones, fitted one of those. Bit of a problem there because it wasn't the same configuration as a normal one. The prongs did a slightly different thing, but I worked that out, got it sussed. We've also levelled a couple of frets. I've given the guitar a complete setup. We've levelled some frets up here. All the frets have been polished. The fingerboard has been treated with mineral oil. That's all been cleaned. The electrics have all been overhauled. They're fine. Every nut and bolt has been checked and tightened. I've set up the tremolo. I've altered the truss rod. Set the action correctly at the 12th fret. We are roughly 1.65 millimeters above the 12th fret on the low E string, or the 6th, and on the 1st, around about 1.35, 1.4 millimeters. That is a beautiful action. The Floyd Rose type tremolo, or the Edge 0 tremolo, is floating beautifully. The guitar stays in tune, and all the electrics work fine. One thing left for me to do is just to check the tightness of the strap pins, which they are beautifully tight. Well, that one was. That was a little bit loose. It's a good job we checked it. There you go. We've also tightened each of the nuts on the tuners. You can't see where you are, just got a screwdriver. These here, we've checked everything else that it's all tight. So the guitar is set up, it's in tune, it looks beautiful, it plays beautiful, it is ready to go out of the door. All I need to do is put the back plate on, which I am going to do. I'll do it off. I'll tell you why I'm going to do it off camera, because I've got a tremolo arm in and I don't want to, you know what, let's get on with it. Let's get it done. I'm not going to put that 0 bar in there. I think it would be safe to remove the spring at the back of a tremolo. That I don't know what its function is. But then, if you want to put it back in, you're not going to be able to do it without actually removing the tremolo. So I'm reluctant to do that. If Ashley wants to do that when I'm here, we can do that. Take that as an option. We can also try fitting the 0 bar, which is a great idea. But I'm taking it as complete as it is right now. We're going to put the backing plate back on. Screws always in the pot. So recap of what we've done. All that remains for me to do now is to tie this video up. It's been a great project, this one. Really fun guitar. I'm going to plug it in and have a twang about in a minute. Yeah, but it's been really fun, but the project is all but finished. I'm just going to tighten these screws up. So I remind you guys that I do have a website. Best place to catch me is on Facebook. My Facebook page is facebook.com/ng17. That's facebook.com/NGONESEVEN. For those of you who wonder what NG17 is, it is my postcode. NG also stands for Nottingham. And the 17, great number. One of my favourite numbers, 17, because 17 in the Bible, if you are a Christian, you will know that 17 signifies Christ's victory. So, fantastic stuff. So, there you go. But this project is finished. It is an Ibanez Prestige. What does it say on the back? What model it is? No, it doesn't. I do not know what model it is. I should know. Is it a 560 or a 570? I've got no idea now. I will find out and I will title the guitar accordingly. But for now, turn the guitar over. The guitar is finished. I'm going to put things back in the bag. The Team J Craft Ibanez parts. I've also put the old TRS jack in there. It's no good to me. Not really any good to the owner of the guitar, but it may as well stay in there. Put that in there, get the tool back in there. So that's me, Victor, your fret friend, signing off. And as always, as I sign off, God bless you, be good to each other. I'll see you soon.